Beyond the bustling, fast-paced cities that define modern America, there exist places that, despite being called cities, offer an entirely different experience. Imagine living in a town where your closest neighbor is dozens or even hundreds of meters away. There are no shopping malls, no schools, no movie theaters, and even a stable phone signal is a luxury. Some might call it loneliness, but for those who choose to live in these remote towns, this is what true freedom feels like. Take, for example, a town in Nebraska with a population of just one. Yes, just one resident, who also happens to be the mayor, the librarian, and the owner of the only bar in town. Then, there's a town in Alaska, where nearly the entire population lives under one roof. An enormous building that serves as an apartment complex, police station, and even a school. What is life really like in these isolated communities? These are the most remote towns in America, and the extraordinary stories of the people who call them home. Monowi, Nebraska. Hidden in the remote plains of Nebraska, just off Highway 12 near the South Dakota border, stands a modest sign that reads Monowi, but this isn't just a road marker. It's the name of one of the smallest towns in the world. Covering just 0.21 square miles, or 0.54 square kilometers, in Boyd County, Monowi is the only legally incorporated town in the U.S. with a population of just one. That single resident is Elsie Eiler, a woman in her late 80s who wears many hats. She is the town's mayor, librarian, and bartender, all in one. The town itself looks more like an abandoned settlement, with only a few buildings still standing, while others have fallen into decay. Yet, Elsie remains, managing Monowi as both its leader and its only citizen. Monowi wasn't always this empty. In the 1930s, it was a lively railroad stop along the Elkhorn line, home to 150 people, a grocery store, a restaurant, and even a jail. But over time, residents left and businesses closed. Now, Elsie carries on its legacy, keeping Monowi alive, if only in name and spirit. Jarbidge, Nevada. From the rolling plains of Nebraska, we now journey to the rugged landscapes of Nevada. Known for its towering mountain ranges and vast wilderness, this state is home to many isolated places, but few are as fascinating as Jarbidge. Nestled at the end of a long, rough dirt road, with the nearest town more than 100 miles away, Jarbidge is home to just 18 residents. With no schools, hospitals, or supermarkets for miles, life here is a stark contrast to the fast-paced world most Americans know. Yet, its remoteness has shaped a unique way of life. Surrounded by Nevada's breathtaking natural beauty, Jarbidge carries echoes of its past as a thriving gold mining town in the early 1900s. Remnants of old log cabins still stand, whispering stories of a once booming era. Despite its size, the town remains welcoming to visitors, offering a bar, a small restaurant, a hotel, a gas station, and a souvenir shop, all run with warmth and hospitality. Life in Jarbidge isn't without challenges, from limited medical services to scarce modern conveniences. But its residents' resilience and strong sense of community make it a rare and remarkable place worth discovering. Beyond Jarbidge, another historic mining town stands quietly in the rugged Nevada landscape, Eureka. Nestled in the Diamond Mountains along Highway 50, a road famously known as the loneliest road in America, Eureka lives up to its name with its remote and quiet existence. The closest town, Duckwater, is nearly 46 miles away, reinforcing just how isolated this place truly is. Yet, despite its small population of around 400 people, Eureka captivates visitors with its well-preserved 19th century architecture and a historic opera house that still hosts performances. For some, Eureka represents a different side of America, one that isn't defined by towering skyscrapers or fast-paced city life. Instead, it tells the story of resilience, history, and the beauty of solitude. Barrow, Alaska. Did you know the northernmost town in the United States? Far beyond the mainland, in the remote reaches of Alaska, lies Utqiagvik, better known as Barrow. This isolated community is closer to Tokyo than it is to New York City, surrounded by vast Arctic tundra and completely inaccessible by road. Living here is an extreme experience, especially in winter when the sun disappears for 30 days straight. With average high temperatures staying below freezing from December through March, Barrow may seem uninhabitable. Yet, around 4,000 people call it home, including the indigenous Inupiat people, who have lived here for centuries. A visit to Barrow is unlike any other, offering a rare glimpse into life in one of the most isolated places on Earth, where polar bears roam the icy landscape and the Arctic Ocean is never far away. Still in Alaska, we find another extraordinary remote town, Whittier. Perched on the shores of the Passage Canal, about 60 miles from Anchorage, Whittier is accessible only through a narrow tunnel that cuts beneath a glacier. The town experiences an extremely wet climate, and its landscape is sparse, with few buildings or public facilities. But what makes Whittier truly unique isn't its isolation. It's the fact that nearly all 263 residents live under one roof. That roof belongs to Baggage Towers, a single condominium complex that houses not just apartments, but also a grocery store, a laundromat, a post office, a church, and even a police station. Inside, there's also a school, a basketball court, and a playground, which can be reached through a special underground tunnel. At night, residents must be home by 10:30 p.m., when the only tunnel into town is closed, leaving anyone who's late stranded in the freezing Alaskan cold. Despite its tiny population, Whittier attracts visitors every year, drawn to its remarkable way of life and the stunning natural beauty that surrounds it. Supai, Arizona. If Jarbidge, Nevada seems remote, Supai, Arizona takes isolation to another level. Hidden deep in the Grand Canyon, Supai is completely cut off from roads and vehicles. The nearest road is more than 8 miles away, making it the only place in the U.S. where mail is still delivered by mule. The only way in or out is by helicopter, horseback, or a long, strenuous hike. Home to just over 200 people, Supai is the heart of the Havasupai Indian Reservation, a sacred land with breathtaking turquoise waterfalls that attract thousands of visitors each year. Despite its remoteness, the town provides accommodations for guests, including hotels, restaurants, and a small museum showcasing the tribe's rich history. Glasgow, Montana. If we exclude Alaska, then the most remote town in mainland America is Glasgow, Montana. Tucked near the Canadian border, Glasgow is a long 4.5-hour drive from the nearest major cities like Billings, Great Falls, or Minot. Proud of its status, the town of 3,200 residents even features a map at its Chamber of Commerce that reads, "Welcome to the middle of nowhere." Despite being far from the rest of the world, Glasgow is still a fully functioning town. It has a hospital for routine medical care, grocery stores, hardware shops, and even a McDonald's. However, it remains more than 4 hours from the nearest airport capable of landing a commercial jet, reinforcing its reputation as America's most isolated modern town. Point Roberts, Washington. Point Roberts is a unique U.S. town that can only be accessed by crossing into Canada first. Created when the U.S.-Canada border was finalized in the 19th century, this small community of about 1,100 residents is completely cut off from the rest of Washington state. Unless you have a private boat or small plane, you'll need to enter Canada and then re-enter the US to reach it. Covering just 4.8 square miles, Point Roberts is a quiet coastal retreat. Many retirees call it home, and it remains a popular getaway for Canadians seeking peace by the sea. Marfa, Texas. Hidden in the vast, high desert of West Texas, Marfa is a small town of about 2,100 people with an outsized cultural influence. It's best known for Prada Marfa, a permanent art installation designed to look like a luxury boutique in the middle of nowhere. Marfa has also been a backdrop for major films like There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men. Despite its artistic fame, it remains isolated with no major city within 500 miles to the west. Jordan Valley, Oregon. Jordan Valley is tiny, just 2.08 square miles, but its surroundings stretch for miles. With only 135 residents, it offers endless open space, rolling green valleys, and distant mountains. One of its highlights is the Jordan Crater Field, a volcanic landscape filled with ancient lava formations. Due to its remote location, few tourists visit, making it one of the best places in the US for stargazing. With almost no light pollution, Jordan Valley offers an unparalleled view of the night sky.